Hello, and welcome to the Inspired Living with Ellen Broderick podcast. Today, we're going to do a Yoga Nidra guided meditation, and I'm going to give an explanation about what this entails and why I think it is a very valuable form of meditation, especially for people who find it difficult to get into meditation, whose minds, like many of us, are continuously in motion. The Buddhist community calls this the monkey mind. And for those who have an active mind that's hard to still, Yoga Nidra can be really beneficial. The idea in Yoga Nidra means this place between sleep and wakefulness, this place where we are awake, but we also are completely still and aware. So the process of Yoga Nidra is to lie down on your back in Shavasana. And Shavasana is the corpse pose for people who do yoga. Lying on your back, you can have something under your knees for support, which gives a little release to the lower back. And if you're in a setting that is in any way cool, you want to have a blanket over you. You can also use an eye pillow. And you lie on your back, your hands and your arms by your sides, maybe out up to about 30 degrees away from the body. You are listening to the voice of the person leading, in this case, me, and not overly concentrating, because the point of Yoga Nidra is to get you into this place where you are, you've passed through the various bodies that we exist with. So in um, in the yoga tradition and other traditions, Hindu tradition, there are 5 bodies, and they go from the most dense or gross bodies to the most ethereal. So the first one is the physical body, and the next is the energy body, or it can be also called the prana body. And then there is the emotional body and the wisdom body. At the very center of our being is this joy body or bliss body. And we in Yoga Nidra, you're guided to pay attention to each of these bodies. And when you pay attention to them, that's like the secret way that they relax and open and allow you through to the next level of of intimate body experience. So another thing that I'd want to say is that you will have an opportunity to set an intention for your practice. And in Sanskrit, the name for this kind of an intention is called a sankalpa. And the sankalpa is it's put together in the present tense. You use positive words, so you're speaking it as though it's already true, it's already here. And later in the practice, you articulate it early in the practice. Later in the practice, I will bring you back to that, and then you repeat it numerous times when your body is the most receptive. And this can have a really profound effect on your ability to open to release, maybe the way that we get stuck in the mind or the body, and to actually let the universe know what it is that your heart understands to be the next direction for you to be moving in. So there will be a period of time after we've done a rotation of consciousness through the body where I just bring your attention to fingers and hands and arms and shoulders and etc. I bring you systematically through the body. And then I offer to you to rest in this place within that has never been harmed by the effects of the world. This place where you can be completely at ease and at home with yourself. Just as I bring you into that space, I'm going to read a short passage from a book called A Course in Miracles, which came out, I think it was back in the 1980s. It might have been a little earlier than that. And it is really an opportunity to look differently. It's written through a Christian perspective, but it actually applies to all spirituality. And it encourages you to take a different look at a lot of things that you may have been exposed to. And today we're going to be, the passage that I'm going to share has to do with the reality or unreality of sin. And then I leave you quietly in that inner space for a number of minutes. And then I will guide you back out again. This today is going to be good for everyone, but particularly good for people who are just starting out. I'm not going to, it's not going to be as in-depth as you can go if you wish to later on. And you won't be spending a long period of time in this inner sanctuary, inner space. You can then gradually build on that and build the ability to spend a great deal of time in that silent, accepting arena. So now we'll begin the meditation. If you haven't already, get yourself comfortable in a lying down position on your back in Shavasana. You can pause this and come back and turn it back on when you get all settled. And then allow yourself to feel your body and its connection to the mat or bed or floor, maybe couch, whatever it is you're lying upon. And then listening to sounds that are in and around the space that you're in. Don't feel that you need to identify what the sound is. Just acknowledge that it's there. And then bring your attention into your mouth and notice any tastes that linger on the tongue or in the mouth. And then bring your attention to your eyes, even in this closed position, or they can be soft gaze. You can keep, if it's more comfortable for you, you can keep the eyes just slightly parted. Just notice the experience of the eyes, whether they are closed or with a slight opening. And then feeling the exposed skin and the experience of the touch of the air against your skin. And the touch of your clothing. And then bring your attention to your breath. Initially, just noticing the pattern of breathing that you are currently involved in, without having to shift it initially at all. And bring your attention to your heart, a very powerful muscle, and it keeps us nourished. It keeps the blood recirculating, refreshing. And your heart also is this place where you can connect to your deepest longing or awareness of what your life unfolding, what is most beneficial in your evolution of your life unfolding. And just listen through the heart to what it is that you would most benefit from, and create or craft this intention using present tense, positive words, so that you are constructing it as though it's already true, already here, currently your experience. So if you've been feeling particularly anxious in your life, you might create a sankalpa which says, I am relaxed and at ease. And once your intention has made itself known, then quietly repeat it to yourself 2 or 3 times. And then just set it down next to you. We'll come back to it later. Bring your attention now to your toes and just notice the 10 toes. You might notice their temperature. You might notice if there's any vibration. What's the experience of your 10 toes right now? And then move your attention to the soles of your feet, just noticing, to the top or dorsal side of the feet, ankles, calves and shins, knees, thighs, hips, waist, chest and upper back. And then bring the attention down to your 10 fingers, noticing. And then to your wrists, to your forearms, elbows, upper arms, shoulders, neck and throat, chin and jaw, mouth, lips, cheeks, nose, eyes, eyebrows, forehead, ears and sides of head, crown of head. And bring your attention to your body as a whole, getting a sense of the whole body, the experience of being in your entire body. And then visualize a place within in which you have not been negatively impacted by any experience in the world. This place where you can totally relax, feel a sense of well-being, ease, comfort. You're settling into this place, and I will share this passage from Course in Miracles, and then we'll be quiet for several minutes. If this passage speaks to you, just take it in. And if it doesn't, just let it go. And this is from chapter 19, The Attainment of Peace. Mistakes are for correction, and they call for nothing else. What calls for punishment must call for nothing. Every mistake must be a call for love. What then is sin? What could it be but a mistake you would keep hidden, a call for help that you would keep unheard and thus unanswered? Now beginning to notice your experience in this inner space. And then call to mind your intention, your sankalpa, and repeat it to yourself very slowly, 3 or 4 times. Each time letting it enter into and become one with every cell in your body. And visualize your life with this shift. And then let it go. Allowing the universe to conspire in your favor to bring this about. Now, bring to mind a feeling or emotion that's been you've been aware of in the last days or weeks. And notice as you hold this feeling or emotion in mind, what's the experience in the body? And then let that go. Now bring to mind the opposite of that original feeling or emotion, whatever its opposite is to you. And as you hold that opposite feeling or emotion in mind, notice the body and how it responds. What's the feeling in the body? And then let that go. Return to the original feeling or emotion and notice. And let it go. Return to the opposite feeling or emotion and notice. And let it go. Now, if it's possible, hold the original feeling or emotion in mind and simultaneously its opposite. As you hold the two in mind, what's the body's response? And then release. Let it go. Coming back to your breath, noticing the natural pattern of your breathing. And then inhale a little bit longer, a little bit fuller. Exhale a little bit longer, releasing a little bit more. And then letting your breath go to its natural breathing pattern and just stay with the breath for 3, 4, maybe 5 breaths. And when you're ready, opening your eyes, coming back together. So that is a brief Yoga Nidra. And you might just sit for a moment to notice if this is your first time with a Yoga Nidra, how was that for you? Is that something that feels accessible or not? We do explore a variety of ways to silence and become still. The silencing, it doesn't come each time, but we can cultivate it like a muscle by working it repetitively on a regular basis. Hopefully, that is something that you find of interest and benefit. I know I do. Thanks for joining this week. I look forward to seeing you again next week for the Inspired Living with Ellen Broderick podcast. Have a great week.